Fine. So let us continue. So I was talking about cyclotron. So this is what engineers will do. They will use the ideas developed by physicists and they will earn money by making something useful for mankind. Okay, and what they made, one of the engineer named Lawrence, he made a device called cyclotron. So what does cyclotron does? Okay, what is cyclotron? I will tell you. What cyclotron is basically it is a device which is used to accelerate. Okay, it is a device used to accelerate charged particles it is a device used to accelerate charged particles to very high speeds, or you can say kinetic energy. Fine. So this is what cyclotron does. So cyclotron is a device which increases the speed of particles. And if you are increasing the speed of particles, it means you are doing acceleration. How it will do that we have to study. But why we are doing? Why we need to accelerate charged particles? Well, the good thing about fast moving charged particles is, for example, students, we know about the constituents of matter. So matter is made up of atoms. Atoms we know is made up of electrons and nuclei. Now to break the nucleus, to study what is inside the nucleus, we need to break the nucleus. In that sense, break the nucleus. So to reach the nucleus, you need charged particles which move very fast. Otherwise they will reach up to here and then they will return back, because of, imagine I am sending a proton. So as a proton is coming like this towards a nucleus like this, the nucleus will repel the proton, because proton is positive, nucleus is also positive. So as the proton is coming near the nucleus, it will get repelled. Repelled matlab it will slow down, it will stop somewhere and go back. But if you want to enter the nucleus and maybe undergo fission process, then it is important that these charged particles move very fast. So to study nuclear reaction, so one of the use of this is to study nuclear reactions. Right? So if I give you a walnut, and ask you what is inside that, one way is to break it. So similarly, what we do to know inside what is there, inside nucleus what is there, we need to break it. And to break that, we send fast moving charged particles. Okay. So to study nuclear reactions, is one use. Another use is to implant ions into solids to modify their properties. So if you want to modify matlab change. If you want to change the property of some solid, then you can send fast moving ions inside, and the presence of ions will act like impurity, and those impurities will change the whole behavior of the solid. Okay. So to change the behavior of a solid, we use this cyclotron, which will make charged particles move very fast. Okay. So that is the whole idea. Right, fast. There are some limitations we will study later. Okay. Try to answer one question quickly. Again, one of you can answer, that's okay. If I want to make something move very fast, which means if I want to increase the speed, yeah, they just when fine. Students, what I'll do quickly is I will inform you about something very important. From today onwards, from tomorrow onwards actually, Friday classes will not be there for physics. All of you may have got the message. But at 4 p.m. you will get a recorded video. Probably it will be between 1.5 hour up to 2 hours, maximum 2 hours. Okay. That will contain sometimes NEET level MCQs also, and sometimes JEE level MCQs also, and any advanced topics which I want to discuss. If you notice, in all those videos, I still explain. So even the NEET students should see that video compulsorily, okay, from my side. Now, whether you see or not, it is up to you. I cannot force you, but from my side, I request all the NEET students to also see those videos. First thing. Second thing, after this GTE is over, from next PTE, you will also have first PU topics in your PTE. Okay, first PU topics. For NEET, 15 to 10 questions will be there, and for JEE, around 8 to 10 questions will be there. So I want to also include first PU topics little bit, so that you keep revising, maybe daily, maybe every day, half an hour or 45 minutes, you can also revise first PU. So that information I wanted to give you. Thank you, Tejaswini. So let us continue now. So how does this cyclotron actually work? How does it actually work? Okay. Now answer this question. If you want charged particles to move very fast, matlab if you want to increase the speed, can I use magnetic field? Can I use magnetic field? Can I use magnetic field to increase the speed? Speed, I'm saying. Some of you have forgotten the first day class. Can I use magnetic field to increase the speed or the kinetic energy? By increasing the strength of the magnetic field. Okay. Fine. So some are saying yes, some are saying no. It's okay. So let me revise again what I have discussed. What is the formula for force on a moving charge? Q V cross B. This was the formula for force on a moving charge. Okay. So imagine the charge is moving in this plane. This is the plane in which the charge is moving. So charge is moving in this direction. Velocity is in this direction. And let us say I apply magnetic field in this direction. Okay, so charge is moving in this direction. I am applying magnetic field in this direction inside the board. Okay, can you tell me where will be the force? Use Fleming's left hand rule or this curled rule. Where will the force be? If this is the motion of the positive charge, this is magnetic field inside the board, where will the force be? Up. Very good. So first force will be upwards. So magnetic force will be upwards. Look carefully the angle between magnetic force and velocity. The angle between magnetic force is here, motion is here, motion, velocity is here. If velocity is here, displacement will be also there only. Displacement also will be there. Okay, V cross B. So if velocity is here, displacement also will be there. And if displacement is here, force is here, angle between them is 90 degrees. So what will be the work done? 0. Why the work done is 0? First PU knowledge you apply. Work done is force into displacement into cos of angle. Cos of angle. So since force and displacement are 90 degree, cos 90 is 0. So if work done is 0, change in kinetic energy will also be 0. From which theorem? Work energy theorem. If work done is 0, change in kinetic energy should be 0. That means kinetic energy remains kinetic energy remains constant. Kinetic energy remains constant because change is zero. Now, change is zero. Matlab what? Initially, if initially kinetic energy was 5, finally what should be kinetic energy? 5 only. Then only the change in kinetic energy will be 0. So if change in something is 0, it means that something should be constant. So kinetic energy is constant, matlab speed. Speed should be constant because kinetic energy is half m v square. V square. Since it is square, it is a scalar quantity. Kinetic energy cannot be vector. It is a scalar. Energies are always scalar quantity. So speed should be constant. So how can you increase the speed? Think about this. First day only I have told you that magnetic field cannot increase speed. Magnetic field cannot increase speed. Then what it will do, if it cannot increase the speed, it will change the direction. If you remember, the charged particle moves in a circle. The charged particle moves in a circle. So if the speed cannot change, then what it will do? Then what this will do? Can only change direction of motion. Matlab, it can change velocity vector. It can change velocity vector, but it cannot change speed. So I was asking you about whether the charged particle can be made to move faster or not using magnetic field. Can I make it move faster? Faster, when I say, I'm talking about speed. Faster doesn't mean about direction, no. Faster, slower means about magnitude. Understood or not now? Everybody understood? Just let me know quickly. Those who did the mistake. Okay. So those who have done the mistake, and somebody was saying by changing the strength of magnetic field. By changing the strength of magnetic field, you will change the radius. So what was the formula for radius? mv by qb. So if you increase the strength of magnetic field, the radius will be smaller. So if it is going in this circle, initially, if you increase the magnetic field, it will move in this circle, small circle. Small circle means small radius. So by increasing the strength of magnetic field, you can change the radius, but not the speed. Okay, students? Why it cannot change the speed? Simple. Work done by magnetic force is 0. Why work done is 0? Because it is always perpendicular to velocity. It is always perpendicular to velocity. So we cannot use magnetic field to change the speed. Can we use electric field? Can we use electric field? Electric field can we use? Yes, electric field we can use. If the charge is moving in this direction, if the charge is moving in that direction, and if I apply electric field in the same direction, then the force on this charge will be in this direction only. So force will be in the same direction as velocity. If force is in the same direction as displacement, then that force will do positive work. Positive work means kinetic energy can increase. So please remember, electric field can change the speed. Magnetic field cannot change. Okay. So keep that in mind, because if you don't remember that, this cyclotron understanding will not happen. So let us see the construction. Look carefully, very interesting it is. What they do, they take two hollow conductors in the form of D. So these are called Ds. Ds. They look like D only, A, B, C, D. So these are basically two hollow. These are two hollow cylindrical conductors. Okay, cylindrical matlab like this. So it will be like this, but it will be cut like this, and inside part will be hollow. Inside nothing will be there. So it is like this. If I show you from there, I'm showing this way. So you have to imagine this kind of surface. Okay, students, like this. And inside is nothing, hollow it is. Okay, and they are conductors. Fine. Okay. Then I'm going to apply magnetic field this way, everywhere. That means I will write dot. That is what NCERT has done. If you want, you can apply cross also. Cross matlab you can apply into the board. Yeah, you can think as tabla also, but tabla will be almost round shape. This should be cylindrical shape. So this is the magnetic field, uniform magnetic field. Okay. So now what I am going to do, the charge particle which you want to make move faster and faster, that charge particle, we will release it here. So this is your positive charge particle, plus charge. We will release it here. Now if you keep it like this, it will stay like that only, right? It will stay like that only. So now what I am going to do, don't draw this part, okay? If you are drawing, you can draw up to here, but don't draw the remaining part. So we are going to connect here a battery. So let us say I put here positive terminal, negative terminal. Don't draw this part. Be careful. So now you see what will happen. If this is positive, this is negative, and these two are conductors. So if there is potential difference, something, same potential difference will be here also, because this is a conductor, this wire is a conductor, this is a conductor, this wire is also conductor. So whatever potential difference is here, same will be here. And this will be at higher potential, this will be at lower potential. So here there will be electric field in the gap. It is like a capacitor. There will be, don't draw this part, there will be electric field this side. Inside the conductor, you know electric field is zero, inside the conductor. So inside it is zero, but in this gap there will be electric field. So this positive charge, once it will feel the electric field this side, it will feel electrostatic force this side only. So because of that, it will start moving with some velocity. Initially it was at rest, and now it will move with some velocity. So it will start moving with some velocity. But it is moving in a magnetic field, remember, sorry, like this. So it will not go straight. Right? Already I have told you, if there is magnetic field like this and a charge comes like this, it will start moving in a circle. So in what direction will the force be? Let us try to see. This is the magnetic field is out. Magnetic field is out. Motion is this side. So force will be down. Force will be down. Correct na? Magnetic field is towards you. Magnetic field is outside. Motion is this side. Because of the electric field, it will start moving, remember. So who is making it move? Electric field. So it will start moving faster, solpa, and then there is force here. So because of the magnetic force, it will start moving in a circle like this. Now this is the crucial part. Let me remove these things now. So when it moves in a circle and it comes here, it comes here. If you keep the battery like this, see what will happen. This is positive charge. So why it is moving in circle? Because of magnetic field. So as it comes here, if you keep the battery like this, then this is positive, remember, this is negative. So what will this positive do? It will repel the electric, it will repel this charge. It will repel this electric charge. So it will not be able to continue. It may continue, slow down and go back. It may go back. That is not what I want. I want it to move faster and faster, faster and faster. Yes or no? Hello? Yes or no? So when this particle reaches here, matlab when it completes half revolution, when the charge particle completes half revolution, somehow I should quickly change the terminals. I should quickly change the terminals. How I will do? I will tell you, don't worry. That's why I told, don't draw this diagram right now. So when the charge particle will complete half revolution, this terminal should quickly change. And if the terminals will quickly change like this, then this will become minus now. So what this minus will do? This minus potential will attract the positive charge due to the electric field. Remember, this electric field will be this side now. Once the charge reaches here, I will change the terminals. So electric field which was this side before, now it will be this side. So the charge particle which was coming here, when it reached here, I made the electric field this way. So what will happen? It will move faster. Why it will move faster? Because already it was moving with some speed. Then when it reaches the gap, there is electric field this side. It's like a kick. It's like a kick. So it will move faster. Once it moves faster, let us remember the formula for this radius. What was the formula for radius? mv by qb. Remember or not? mv by qb. So m is constant, q is constant, magnetic field is constant, uniform magnetic field, right? So once it moves faster, the speed will increase. And if speed will increase, what will increase in this formula? If speed will increase, what will increase in this formula? The radius will increase. That means now the charge particle will move in a bigger radius. And again when it comes here, if the battery remains like this, what will happen? This plus will make the positively charged particle, it will repel this side. So you will not be able to make it move faster. So what should happen? By the time it completes half revolution, again I should change the terminals. So if I again change the terminals, this will be now negative, this will be now positive, right? So this negative potential will again attract the charge particle this side, when it comes here. So because of this attraction, again one more kick it will get. From whom? Electric field is doing, remember all this. It will get a kick. So the speed will further increase. If speed will further increase, radius will further increase. So it will move in a bigger radius. Then again when it comes here, what I should do here? Quickly you can tell, again you should change the terminals. Then again it will get a kick because now this is positive or negative. Now it is negative. So it will again attract. So like that, it will keep moving faster and faster every time it comes in between the D's. Every time it comes in between the D, because inside electric field is 0. So inside the speed will not change. But every time it comes in this gap, somehow, every time if it comes in between, I did not ignore magnetic force, Kirti. Magnetic force is what is making it moving in circle, no? I am not ignoring magnetic force. It is magnetic force which is making it move in a circle. If magnetic force was not there, it will go straight. Who is making it move in a circle? Who is making it move in this circular arc? Who? Magnetic force due to magnetic field. So we are not ignoring magnetic force. Again when it comes here, again change the terminal. So it will move faster every time it comes. And then when it has made some nice number of revolution, we will put a gap here. And there will be some deflecting plates. It will hit the plate and come out. Okay. So if you see your material, you will see this kind of diagram. So that is the whole idea of cyclotron. This is how we make the charged particle move faster and faster. And why we are making it move in a circle? Initially, before this cyclotron, we used to have another accelerator called LINEC. LINEC, it is not in the syllabus. line ek matlab linear accelerator. There no, we used to put batteries after every stage. So every time there is a battery, it used to accelerate, but it used to be very, very long. So that is very difficult, right? It is very lengthy. So we wanted to reduce the space. So to reduce the space, we used magnetic field, so that instead of making the charged particle move in a line faster and faster, we made them move in a circle. But we kept increasing the radius of the circle by increasing the speed. And how we increase the speed? By changing the terminals at a very proper timing. The timing is very important. Yes or no? Every time the charged particle comes back here, you have to change the terminal, so that it keeps on increasing its speed. It keeps on increasing its speed. If you don't change the terminal, what will happen? If you don't change the terminal, what resistance you are talking? John Peter, you give me a call, ma. Okay. So it is, these electrons are not moving inside the material of the conductor. It is not moving inside the material that it will feel resistance. Resistance of a wire means if this wire has resistance, then electrons which are moving inside, they get opposed because of collisions. That is called resistance. Here, what resistance you are talking about? So look here. This charged particle, every time it comes in between the discs, if you change the terminals at a very proper timing, then it is possible to keep increasing the speed of the charged particle. Understood? And as you increase the speed, the radius will also increase. So how fast you want the charged particle depends on the size of the D. If your D is very large, then it will make many revolutions. And if it makes many revolution, then it will gain high speed. So one of the cyclotron which was made in Geneva, Switzerland, it was made inside the earth. Inside earth it was made, and it went from here up to maybe Vijayanagar, like that. The tunnel was starting from here up to Vijayanagar, or maybe larger also. I have to see the exact number, how much kilometer it was. And scientists inside the tunnel, scientists used to go in a small car. So that much big they made, so that they can make the charged particle move faster and faster and faster. The whole idea of this is, by making the charged particles move very fast, you can undergo nuclear reactions and maybe create radioactive substance. And those radioactive substance, whatever gamma rays they emit, can be used to cure cancer also. Can be used to cure cancer. So all these isotopes are used in hospitals also. Okay, cobalt-16 is one of the isotopes. Cobalt-16. So is the working clear? I will talk about how to do this, but working is clear or not? Everyone, working is clear or not? Let me know. Yeah. Other students? Fine. So let me quickly ask two questions just to test. Who is increasing the speed? Who is increasing the speed? Electric field or magnetic field? Electric field. Super. Who is making it go in a circle? Who is making it go in a circle? Magnetic field. So electric field is increasing the speed. Magnetic field is making it come in a circle. So it is like this. Electric field is like the tough guy who is slapping the bad man. So this is the bad guy. Imagine this is the bad guy, and electric field is slapping him, attack like that, and he is running away. He is running away. Then magnetic field is like the friend who will bring this bad guy back. So magnetic field is another friend who will bring this guy back. Again he will slap. Again he will run. Magnetic field will bring it back. Again he will slap. So the slapping, the amount of slapping which he is getting keeps on increasing. So at the end, his cheek will become very, very hot, highly energetic it will become. So basically, magnetic field job is to bring the charged particle in between the discs again and again, so that you can, so that electric field can keep increasing the speed. Now you will think, how can we do like this, sir? How can we change the terminals with hand? With hand you cannot change, no, because I can't see the charged particle. This charged particle may be alpha particle, So how can I see this charge particle? How will I know that every time they come here, I have to change the terminal? How will I know? Simple, you will put here an AC source. So this is your AC source. It is also called oscillator, high frequency oscillator. So here you will put an oscillator whose potential difference keeps changing. About AC I will teach much later actually, but right now you should know that here we have to put oscillator. So if I plot the voltage of battery, it looks like this. Battery's voltage is constant, maybe 5 volt like that. But if I plot voltage of oscillator or alternating source, it will look like this. Okay, it will be positive for some time, negative for some time, positive for some time, negative for some time. So basically what I should do, listen carefully. By the time the charge particle comes here, this AC source should go from here to here. Why? Because after that I want it to become negative. Understood or not? So I have to adjust the time period of this. I have to adjust the time period of the oscillator. Time period matlab this. So I have to adjust the time period of oscillator in such a way that every time the charge particle completes half revolution, this should complete half time period. Okay, so let me write that part. So that is the most important part. So the main idea is this. The time taken by the charge particle to complete half revolution, the time taken by the charge particle to complete half revolution should be equal to half of time period of oscillator. Okay, half of time period of oscillator, right? So every time this charge comes here, the oscillator should go from here to here, so that after that it becomes negative. Negative matlab the terminal should change. So please write down this. Now let us write this in formula. So what is the formula for time period of revolution for a charged particle? 2 pi m by qb. So this formula you should remember. This formula you should remember. So time taken by charged particle to complete half revolution. The time, then it will not be in phase. Then it will not match. So every time it will come back here, it will not turn at it will not become, see, when the positive charge comes here, when this positive charge comes here, Sanjay, when this positive charge comes here, you want it to be negative that time. If it is not negative, then the phase difference will be there. So it will not accelerate, because if it is positive and I keep positive here, then will it attract or repel? It will repel. So it will get repelled, then after some time maybe it will get attracted. So your speed will not continuously increase. It will increase, then decrease, then increase, then again decrease. It will increase and again decrease. That we don't want. Understood, Sanjay? Okay. So it is very important that the timing should be very much kept in mind, that the time taken by the charged particle to complete half revolution should exactly match with half of time period of oscillator. Now what is the formula for this? This is half of this time period. So it will be half of 2 pi m by qb. And this should be half of time period of oscillator. It will be like OS. OS matlab oscillator's time period. So you can see this half and this half you can cancel. So if somebody will ask what should be the time period of oscillator, the time period of oscillator should be 2 pi m by qb. So what about frequency of oscillator? frequency of oscillator. Take 1 by time period. So frequency of oscillator should be QB by 2 pi n. And this is nothing but frequency of revolution of charge. So this is called resonance condition. This is called resonance condition. Resonance condition. Okay, students. So this may come for 1 mark. They may ask you what is the resonance condition in cyclotron. What is the resonance condition in cyclotron? What is the answer? The frequency of oscillator should be equal to frequency of revolution. You have to write revolution of charge particle. Revolution of charge particle. Okay. Fine. Okay. Yes, Kirti. Already we have discussed no R equals to mv by qb. So if radius increases with speed, time period will not change. Yesterday's class, I think you were not concentrating, Kirti. Yesterday I have spoken about that. When radius increases, speed increases, so time period does not change. If you run fast, but if I increase the road, if I increase the distance, time taken will be same. So in physics, students, everything builds from somewhere to somewhere. Okay, so it is very important that you remember whatever has been taught. That's why I keep revising. Not only in physics, I think it is true in biology also, chemistry also. That something, whatever we know, we need to remember something about that. Then we keep building, and then more things we understand. So what is the resonance condition? Tomorrow morning, if I or maybe next Monday, if I ask what is the resonance condition, what will you say? The frequency of oscillator should be equal to frequency of revolution of the charge particle. Now look here. Look at the formula of the frequency of revolution. It depends on the charge, the mass, and the magnetic field. So you know which particle you are using. If you are using alpha particle, you know the charge is twice of charge of electron. Mass is approximately 4 times mass of proton. So you know the charge and the mass. And what magnetic field you are applying, that also you must be knowing. If you don't know, then why are you applying? So whatever magnetic field you know, that much magnetic field you are applying. So this part you can calculate. So if it comes, let's say 10 to the power 2 hertz or 10 to the power 3 hertz, then you have to adjust the frequency of oscillator to that value. So in the oscillator, there will be some knob by which you can change the frequency. So by calculating this, you can find what should be the frequency of oscillator. Okay. Uses I told you already. Fine. Okay. So let us do one numerical so that all this will be clear. Only one numerical is there. Which is the number? Numerical exercise 4.1. Numerical exercise 4.1. So listen carefully. Good question. This can come this year also. I'm expecting it. So first question is, what is the radius of the path of electron? First question, what is the radius of the path of electron moving at a speed? Speed is given 3 into 10 power 7 in a magnetic field which is 6 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla. So first part is to calculate radius of the circular path. Radius of the circular path. Limitation I will tell, I forgot. Okay, let me just, application already I told Chaitanya. Okay, in the beginning I told. Application means uses only. So what is the radius formula? mv by qb. mv by qb. So what particle they are using? Electron. What is the mass of electron? Please use the number which they give in the question. You may be knowing some value, but that doesn't matter. Whatever is given in the question, that you should use. So mass is given 9 into 10 power minus 31. Speed is 3 into 10 power 7. Charge of electron magnitude is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. And magnetic field is 6 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla. Tesla was the unit. Okay, so please calculate this. You may get 0.284 meter. So that would be the radius according to my calculation. Just check once. Okay. Second part, what they are asking. Second part is, what is its frequency? Frequency of revolution they are asking. So second part is frequency of revolution. So frequency of revolution is 1 by time period, and time period formula was 2 pi m by qb. So qb will go in the numerator. QB will go in the numerator. Okay, so again substitute the value 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Magnetic field is 6 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla. Pi value is 3.14. Mass is 9 into 10 power minus 31. This will come a big number. So this will come 1.68 into 10 to the power 7 hertz. Okay, which you can also write 16.8 megahertz. Mega means 10 to the power 6. Of course, see, these particles are very small, and if particles are very small, inertia will be very less. So you can change the direction very quickly. So you can change the direction very quickly means this kind of small particles will always have very, very high frequency. You may have studied in atoms chapter also, when electrons revolve around the circle, they have very, very high frequency in atoms. Okay. What else they want? Calculate its energy in kilo electron volt. Kilo electron volt. So energy means when something is moving, it will have kinetic energy. Right? So kinetic energy is equal to part C, half m v square. V directly they have given, so no need to do any calculation. 9 into 10 power minus 31. Speed is given 3 into 10 power 7. Square you have to do. So 3 square 9. 9 nines are 81 by 2 into 10 to the power. 10 to the power how much? Minus 31 plus 14. 8, 1. Okay. Minus 18 joules. 7, sorry. Minus 17 joules. Okay. So this is the kinetic energy. Now this is in joules. Okay, this is in joules. 3 3s are 9, 9 9s are 81 by 2, 10 power minus 31, 10 to the power 7 square is 10 power 14. So 17, minus 17. Okay. So once you get the answer in joules, you have to convert into electron volt. And how to convert? 1 electron volt is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. In question also they are given. When I will teach photoelectric effect, that time I will define electron volt, not right now. Right now we don't need. Okay. So just convert this 81 by 2 into 10 power minus 17. You are converting joules to electron volt. So you have to divide by this number. 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 electron volt. Okay. So check what answer you get. 2.559 I am getting. 2.559 into 10 power 3 electron volt. Okay, so 2.559 into 10 power 3 electron volt simply means 2.559 kilo electron volt. Kilo means 10 to the power 3. So just put the numbers and you can try this same exercise as home exercise 4.1. Whenever PTB is announced, you can try. Right now, concentrate on MCQs. Done? So this is given in the question. Those who don't know, this is given. And I will be explaining this in photoelectric effect chapter. What is actually 1 electron volt? What is actually 1 electron volt? That we will be studying later. Okay. One of the limitation is this. Limitation of cyclotron is we cannot use electrons to give them high speed in cyclotron. So this is one of the limitation. We can use alpha particles, we can use some ions which are little heavy. Heavy ions we can use, but we cannot use electrons to give them very high speed in cyclotron. Electrons we cannot use. I mean, you can use, but then it will not happen. You will not get very high speed. And the reason for that is actually related to Einstein's discovery. So let me just quickly revise. What was the main condition for cyclotron to work? The main condition for cyclotron to work, if somebody will ask you in some interview, what is the answer? Every time the electron comes back, every time the charged particle comes back in between the D's, it starts in between the D's, and every time it comes back in between the D's, the polarity should change. The polarity of the oscillator should change. Matlab, the frequency of oscillator should match with frequency of revolution, right? So frequency of oscillator should match with frequency of revolution. What is the formula for frequency of revolution? Here 2 pi m, here qb. So usually what happens, this is constant, this also is some constant which you know. Therefore, this will be some number, maybe 5 megahertz. So if this is equal to 5 megahertz, what will you do? You will adjust the frequency of oscillator to 5 megahertz. Understood? Problem with electron is Einstein discovered that when things move very fast, their mass increases. How, why, I will not go in the details. I have already explained to AAC students, some of them I have explained that when something moves very fast, it gains kinetic energy. We all know that. Now Einstein discovered this formula, E equal to mc square. Yes or no? So when it gains kinetic energy, it gains energy. Kinetic energy is also energy. Once it gains energy, according to Einstein, it should gain mass also. Because according to Einstein, energy and mass are equivalent. Let us not waste too much time here. Anyways, while discussing fission and fusion, I have to talk about this. So for later purpose, we will discuss. Right now, what you should know. Einstein discovered when things move very fast, their mass will increase. And smaller the particles, more the effect will be. So for electrons which are very small in mass, okay, when they move fast, little fast also, their change in mass is appreciable. Their change in mass is appreciable. It cannot be ignored. So since the mass changes, if this mass changes, then there is a problem, because if this side keeps changing, then how can you keep the oscillator frequency fixed? You have to keep changing the knob. That is very difficult. Understood or not? So when electrons are used, because of Einstein's discovery that with increase in speed, mass also increases because of that, and that effect is more for lighter particles, and electron is the lightest particle, right? So for electron this effect is even more, and therefore for electron this frequency of revolution is no longer constant. It will not be a number. Why? Because the mass keeps on changing for electrons. For others also it changes, but it doesn't change appreciably. It can be ignored if the particles are heavy. Like when Pankaj sir is running, you don't think that, oh, Pankaj sir became heavy. No, when this pen is moving, we don't say the pen has become very heavy. Yes or no? So for heavy objects, we ignore this effect. But for lighter particles, the effect is very high. So for electrons, this condition cannot be matched. So if somebody will ask why, reason, and that is for electrons, the resonance condition is not satisfied. The resonance condition is not satisfied since mass changes appreciably. I think the spelling is wrong, so you can check what is the spelling of appreciably. Okay, I think it is E. So since mass of electron changes appreciably with speed, appreciably means you cannot ignore it now. You cannot ignore the change in mass. Okay, so therefore resonance condition is not satisfied. Therefore cyclotron cannot be used. But human beings are always smart, no? So what they have done is, that is not there in the syllabus, but they have invented another machine called synchrotron. So there we can use electrons also. Why? Because there they apply changing magnetic field. So the way the mass changes, they change the magnetic field in the same fashion. So if mass is increasing by 0.2, they change magnetic field also 0.2. So 0.2 cancels, so right side becomes constant. Okay, so that is there. Again, it is not there in syllabus, but you can, just for your knowledge sake, I am sharing with you. So electrons can be used, but not in cyclotron, in another instrument called synchrotron, which is out of the syllabus. Okay, so once we complete the numericals, now let us do learning exercise. Simple questions are there. I will not do the initial one. That is so simple, students. Already we have completed. They will ask questions like, when is the magnetic force maximum? When is the magnetic force zero? Already I have discussed with you. So please try to solve. I will share the answers in Google Classroom. Okay. So I will start with exam corner. Exam corner 4.1 you see. Exam corner 4.1. I want every one of you to please try. Okay. It is very simple. I want all of you to try. If a magnetic field is parallel to y-axis, now you have to see the diagram. X-axis is here. Usually we write here y-axis, but here they have written z-axis. Usually we write y-axis, but they have written z-axis. So where should be y-axis? Inside the board, like this. That is because x, y, z should always form right-hand system. Matlab, when you go from x to y, you should get z. So you cannot put z, y-axis here. Okay. Anyways, this is in the question, so don't worry. So this is your x-axis, this is your z-axis, and y-axis is inside the board, like this. Now they have applied magnetic field like this. Cross means where is the magnetic field? Cross means magnetic field is inside the board. Inside the board matlab into the board. Into the board matlab parallel to y-axis. So what they are asking, and the charge particle is moving along positive x-axis. Which way would the Lorentz force be? Charge particle is moving along positive x-axis. So velocity is along positive x-axis. So where will the force be? First for electron. For electron they are asking. So if the particle is electron, where will the force be? Try and tell me. Velocity is here. Magnetic field is inside. Where will the force be? Be careful, it is electron, negative charge. And second one is proton. Anyone has done? Quickly, students. Just use this one or right hand curl rule. For electron, it is down. Let me check once. Okay. So this is magnetic field. So inside, this is along current. Current matlab flow of positive charge. This is negative charge. So if negative charge is moving this side, you should put current this side. So it will be like this. Okay. Magnetic field is here. Current is here. Okay. Very difficult for my hand. So magnetic field is inside the board. Current is this side. Current will be opposite to negative charge flow of negative charge. So force will be down. So for electron, force is along negative z-axis. Negative z-axis. And here it is ulta. No, so force is along positive z-axis. For proton, how to do? If it is proton, and if proton is moving this side, proton is positive charge. If positive charge is moving this side, current will be that side only. So put, that is very easy to keep your fingers. See, first finger is magnetic field inside the board. Second finger is along current. Current matlab flow of positive charge. Force will be up. So if they give you negative charge, no, what you do for positive charge, then ulta you do. Because sometimes it's very difficult to do like this, very difficult. So you do the easy one. You do for positive charge, then you ulta answer you give for negative charge. That way also you can try. I used to do like that actually. Question number 2 already we completed in velocity selector. Question number 2 already we have completed while doing velocity selector. So question number 2 you see. In a certain arrangement, a proton does not get deflected while passing through a magnetic field region. Under what condition? Oh, no, this is not velocity selector. This is simple question only. In a certain arrangement, a proton does not get deflected while passing through magnetic field. So there is magnetic fields in some region. Proton is going like this. It does not get deflected. Matlab it goes straight. Now, if it does not get deflected, so then the magnetic force should be 0. When is magnetic force 0? What is the formula? QVB sine theta. There is no electric field, okay? So don't think of velocity selector. In velocity selector, there was electric field also, magnetic field also crossed. So that those two forces cancelled and then the particle went without deflection. Here there is only magnetic field. So if the particle is going undeflected, then you know there cannot be any force because magnetic force can never be parallel to the force. Magnetic force is always perpendicular to the force. Sorry, magnetic force is always perpendicular to velocity. Magnetic force can never be parallel to velocity. It is always perpendicular to velocity. And if it is perpendicular to velocity, it will deflect. No, it will deflect or not. But here they told what? It does not deflect. So if it does not deflect, then magnetic force should be 0. So QVB sine theta should be 0. This implies sine theta should be 0. This implies theta should be 0 degree or 180 degree. Which means either they may have applied magnetic field this way, or they may have applied magnetic field this way. So in these two cases, the particle will not feel any force. Yeah, correct, Sudipta. Right, fast. So these things again we have completed before only. While discussing theory only we have completed. That when the particle moves parallel to magnetic field, when the charged particle moves parallel to magnetic field, magnetic force will be 0. Entrance corner 4.1. Question number 1. A proton and alpha particle enter a magnetic field with same speed. Speed is same. So let us remember what they want. They want ratio of the radii of the circular path. Radius ratio they want. Radius. So what is the formula for radius? When a charged particle enters a magnetic field. mv by qb. Check what is same for the two particles. They told speed is same. So since speed is same, you can use this formula. Speed is same. That means radius of proton by radius of alpha will be mass of proton by mass of alpha into charge of alpha by charge of proton. Because speed is same, so in ratio speed will cancel. Magnetic field is same, it will cancel. So ratio of the radius of proton and alpha will be mass ratio and inverse ratio of alpha. Why inverse ratio? Because radius is inversely proportional to charge. Now, if proton's charge is E, alpha's charge was 2E. I hope everyone remembers this. And if proton's mass is M, alpha's mass is 4m. So from here you will get 1 by 4 and from here you will get 2. So that will be 1:2. Correct? Option A. So you have to check carefully what is same. So if proton's charge is E, alpha's charge is 2E. I have given you that table, remember. Deuteron, tritium, alpha particle. Any two particles they can ask in exam. Okay. Question number 2. A proton and alpha particle enter a region of magnetic field perpendicularly with same momentum, they told, with same momentum. So since momentum is same, speed cannot be same. So let us write the formula in terms of momentum. So second problem, momentum is same means mv will be same. So let us write as p. So first you write the formula in terms of given quantity. So momentum is same. So since momentum is same, the ratio of radius of proton by alpha will be charge of alpha by charge of proton. Mass will not come in the formula because mass into velocity is same, momentum is same. This is 4e, this is 2e. So this will be 2:1. Yeah, correct. Last one I have done. Question number 3 I did that day when kinetic energy is same. For kinetic energy same, what formula you are using? Root of 2mk divided by qb. So if you remember, the formula was 1:1. Remember here 1:1. I did mistake also. I put under root for charge also, right? So this formula you use. Kinetic energy is same in this third question. So if kinetic energy is same, ratio of proton by ratio of radius of proton by radius of alpha will be root of mass of proton by mass of alpha into charge of alpha by charge of proton. So what answer you will get here? 1:1. We have done that already. Okay, let us do one extra question. Think carefully here, okay? Imagine there is a wall here. Look carefully, all of you. Neat level question, but it can be asked in JEE also. There is a wall here, and from here I shoot a charge particle. Now my condition is I don't want this charge particle to hit the wall. The particle should not hit the wall. Should not hit the wall. And this initial distance is given d. This is given. So imagine you can make this problem interesting by saying that there is a friend of yours here like this. He has been tied on the wall and somebody is firing a bullet. But good thing the bullet has charge. Okay. Now the question is what you can do to save your friend. What you can do to save your friend. Matlab, this bullet should not reach the wall. So what you can do, they will ask. And you will be given only magnetic field. If you are given electric field, you know what to do. You will apply electric field this way. High electric field this way. So what will this electric field do? It will slow down the charge particle because this electric field will exert force this side. Right? Because the charge is positive. So positive charge feels force in the direction of electric field. So you will apply huge electric field here. Force will be this side. Electrostatic force will be this side. So the charge will slow down, and maybe somewhere here it will stop. If it doesn't stop, you apply more larger electric field. But I am not giving you electric field. I am only giving you magnetic field. Is it possible to not to save your friend? Is it possible to save your friend? It is possible. You cannot slow down, but you can change the direction. So what you do, you apply magnetic field this way, like this. So if you apply magnetic field this way, where will be force? This is force will be upwards, so it will go like this. It will go in a circle. Now what is the radius of that circle? It will go in this circle, no, like this. So what is the radius of that circle? This is the formula for radius. So radius of the circle must be less than d. Radius of circle must be less than d. Yes or no? If this radius is less than d, then this, see, if the radius is very large, you don't want it to go in this circle. If it goes in this circle, then your friend is still hit here. You don't want that. You want the radius to be smaller than this. Otherwise, your friend will still get hit. So you want the radius to be smaller than d. And what is the formula for radius? mv by qd should be less than d. Cross multiply mv by qd. mv by qd should be less than capital D. So if they ask how much magnetic field you should apply, answer is magnetic field should be greater than mv by qd. Sorry, qd. So what you do, quickly measure this distance, find the mass and the charge of the bullet, find the speed of the bullet, calculate. By that time, so he may fire already, but still, theoretically, you can save him. Theoretically, you can save him. Practically, I'm not sure. Okay, so this much magnetic. So if they ask what is the minimum magnetic field, minimum magnetic field is this. Right? If a number should be greater than 60, if a number should be greater than 60, then 60 you can say is the minimum value in order for this particle not to hit the wall. So very interesting question. I really like this question very much. So I wanted to share it online only instead of offline. Okay, let us continue with question number 4 now. Everybody understood, right? Simple question. Question number 4, you see. Which one of the following will describe smallest circle when projected with same velocity perpendicular to magnetic field? Magnetic field also same, alpha, beta, gamma. So out of these three, which will describe smallest circle? Since velocity is same, let us write the formula in terms of velocity. R equals to mv by qb. So velocity is same. So radius is proportional to mass by charge. Okay, students. Now, three particles are given: alpha, beta, gamma. Again, these three things I will teach you in radioactivity, which is, I think, not I think, it is 13th chapter. 13th chapter. So it will take a lot of time before I reach here. But I'm sure you have some idea about what is alpha, beta, and gamma. Alpha, so already I told. So alpha has charge 2e, mass 4m. Beta has charge e, because beta is nothing but electron. Beta is nothing but electron. That time they did not know the property. That's why they gave the name beta. Later when they knew the property, it was same as electron. So beta is charge electron. So beta, you can see, has less charge. Beta has less charge than alpha. But mass of electron is very, very small compared to this. It's very, very small compared to alpha. So if alpha is Mount Everest, beta will be like a dust particle, because the mass of one proton is around 2000 times more, because mass of proton is 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Mass of electron is 10 to the power minus 31 kg. So around 2000 times proton's mass is more than electron, right? Alpha particle has four of them. So it is very, very heavy. Gamma is nothing but light, you know, light. So light with high frequency. So gamma is nothing but light only, but with very high frequency, though it is not visible. Anyone knows the charge of gamma? Charge of gamma is 0, because it is nothing but, it is a packet of energy. So it doesn't have electrons and protons, so how it will be charged? If light had charge, no, we will get current all the time. So gamma has no charge. Okay. So for gamma, since it has no charge, gamma will never feel any magnetic force. So gamma will always go straight, even if you apply magnetic field. So even if you apply magnetic field perpendicular to gamma, gamma will always go straight. Why, sir? Because gamma doesn't have charge, so it will not feel magnetic force. No magnetic force, it will continue. So gamma will continue. So gamma's radius will be infinity. Radius of gamma will be infinity. Yes or no? This has small radius, this has bigger radius, this has bigger radius. So if I keep drawing, if I move my fingers from here to here, radius is increasing, remember. When I do like this, radius becomes infinity. So for gamma, radius is infinity. Now, mass of electron is very, 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 very small than proton. Therefore, very, very small than alpha. So since mass of electron is very, very small than mass of alpha, the charge doesn't really matter. Since this is very, very small, radius of electron will be very small than radius of alpha. So the least radius will be for electron. So sometimes, no, they ask all these questions in a different style. They will show you a picture. That there is magnetic field applied like this. And here there is a radioactive source, which emits alpha particle also, beta particle also, gamma also. So one of them they will show going straight. One of them they will show going like this. One of them they will show going like this. So this is moving in smaller radius this side. So this is your beta. This is going straight. This is your gamma. And this is going in bigger radius. Since it is bigger radius, it must be your alpha. So like this also they can make the question. So smallest radius will be for beta. Can you tell me why beta is going this side and alpha is going this side? Why beta cannot go this side only? Why beta is going this side and alpha is going that side? Why is it like that? Yeah, because beta has negative charge, so the force will be ulta. So if alpha will feel force this side while going this way, if alpha will feel force this side, alpha will turn this way. But beta is electron, so it has negative charge, so it will feel force this way. So it will turn like that. Okay. So what is the answer? Electron, option B. Last question we will do, question number 5. Simple it is. Question number 5, you see, two charged particles traverse identical helical path in a completely opposite sense. So one is going like this, when you see from here, one is going like this, exactly identical. Matlab, the radius is exactly same. The radius is exactly same. Now, if the radius is same, what is the formula for radius? mv by qb. They must mention the v is same. Whether you write v perpendicular or not, I don't care, but the v is same. So you can see the radius depends on what? Mass by charge. So in order for radius to be same, it is not necessary that charge should be same. It is not necessary that mass should be same. It is necessary that mass by charge, that should be same. So first option says they should have equal z component of momenta. Why? If momenta is same but charge is different, if momentum is same but charge is different, then radius will be different. So first option cannot be accepted. They must have equal charge. They must have. How? If they have equal charge but different mass, then radius will be different. They necessarily represent particle, antiparticle. No, particle and antiparticle I will be teaching in nuclear physics. But right now, just remember, antiparticle means it is exactly same as particle but opposite charge. So you may think it can be particle and antiparticle. Okay. So they necessarily represent. So for neutron, what is the charge? 0. So what will be the force on neutron? 0. Understood? So antiparticle of neutron will also have 0 charge. But if you take electron, so electrons charge is minus e. Antiparticle will have plus e. But neutron's antiparticle will be 0 charge. So it is not necessarily particle and antiparticle, because neutron can also have antiparticle. So for neutron, there will be no radius only. So the correct answer is what? The charge to mass ratio. This should be same for both of them. So m by q for first one should be same as m by q for the second one. And minus. Why minus? Why minus? So that if one is going this side, if one charge is negative, other charge is positive. So bring it this side and then make it equal to 0. Then you can take ulta also. If this is same, q by m will be same. Nah? If this is same, q by m also will be same. Okay. So please remember, if the path is exactly identical, if the radius is exactly identical, mass by charge should be same. Not only charge, not only mass. Thank you. Any doubt you can ask, others can leave. Have your breakfast, lunch, whatever. Thank you.